Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading room. Hang on a second here. We'll get the screen share going on. The market's just opened up. Looks like, in spite of a little bit of a roller coaster through the overnight, we're actually opening more or less where we left off on Monday. And you can see Monday's Asian and overnight session all over the map. For the most part, Monday's session fairly bearish. And if you consider the overnight, we're off to a bit of a bearish start here this morning, although where Eagle Band is stacked in a more bearish fashion. Here's our first in sync Eagle signal, which is a signal to sell. We'll see if that has some follow through to it. Overall, we're bouncing around a little bit. Still, which seems to be kind of the way things have been going these last few days. Lots of yellow bars here in the hawk, kind of confirming that sideways-ness that we've been looking at. The Falcon also back and forth. Nice little channel going on there in the Eagle, and of course the Raptor. A little bit constipated as well, so I'm happy enough to wait it out. Pardon me. Okay, a little bit of an uptick now. All right, a bit of a trend change in the hawk. Trend change working on the falcon. Early cloud crossover here in the raptor. The hawk signal has completed. Well, I guess the falcon signal completed as well. So we have a couple of tools here giving us bullish signals. Okay, so things coming back into sync now with that early eagle signal. Sorry about that. My microphone seems to have been stuck. Let me bring my stops back down here a little bit. What I was trying to say is that the market was a little bit pinned. We had a market in a bit of a sideways range. I may extend my break even a little bit. Sorry, I didn't catch that earlier. But we have a market that's here now in a sideways trading range, and it was congested for quite a while. And so it's certainly doable to try to buy the market higher or to sell it lower. The obvious failure above the high here filled my buy order on my OCO. I'm holding my stops just a little bit. There we go. Oh, not again. All right, I will take the break even. Oops, got the break even. Looks like I need to engage my stops here. There we go. And getting some of that early momentum. Hooray. All right, we're getting rather a big run. I'm going to protect a little bit more here of my open profit, switching to a parabolic mode. Where's the next stop? Okay, primary resistance at 69.21 quarter. That would be a nice little move. 69.50, 55, definitely a home run. If I can get it that high. Nope, not yet anyway. We'll see here in a little while whether the more conservative stop strategy would have held me in. And for how much longer. And oh, they're just about to tag that too. Go ahead, tag it. Make me feel better about taking the early profit. Oh, so far the ATR stop would have kept me safe. Oh no. Oh well. Such is trading. This may actually turn out to be a nice little number 2 signal, a nice little counter trend. Oh, see, spoke too soon. Look at that. That ATR stop working out very, very nicely. Oh, and there they go. All right. Well, hey, that's trading, right? if we knew this stop was going to keep us safe, well, then of course I would have used that stop. Okay, put that back on the shelf for now. Oh, a nice little late filter entry signal here on the Falcon. It looks like that got up to its profit target. Now we're struggling a little bit. Oh, way to go, Mark. Mark says he picked up on that late filter entry. Nice little profit on 3 contracts. Well done. Well, now we're back on in our holding pattern. Things definitely turning a little bit more bullish right now on that little bit of a run up. Oh, see, spoke too soon. Okay, back now to the hard edge, where we anticipate a reaction of sorts. The hawk already getting a little bit more bullish, or pardon me, bearish to start. We've got a first micro macro cross lower that looks like it's already slipped down to its profit target. A possible trend change signal here now on the Falcon. Okay, are we going to get that hard edge bounce now? Almost looks that way. My concern at this point is that we're going to get a reaction, but that it may just end up being a test of the extreme. The safe place to buy is actually above the high of the morning, but you can see that's going to give up a fair amount here from our number 3 signal. So the number 3 signal printing right here. And you can see our profit objective even before the high of the morning. And yet, as I said, the safe place to buy is really up here. And I say safe, with air quotes, because the way the market has been behaving, we haven't been seeing a whole lot of follow through. Wow, what a crazy session so far. You can see the hawk back into yellow bars. All right, here now comes a number 2 signal on the heels of a number 3. I'm going to place my order here as a just in case order, but I will consider tightening it if I get a second push opportunity. And since this seems sort of counter trend relative to the way the market is moving right now, I'll probably take my profit on target if I can get it. Come on, they're a little bit sticky here now at the lows. on, we're getting a little bit of a swing here now. And I'm going to start getting a little bit more aggressive with my stops, I think. Well, certainly I can bring my stops in above this swing high, even if I choose to hold them there just a little bit longer. Come on, just give me that one more push. So the stumbling block right here, 69.01 half. Yep, 69.01 half, which very, very close to 6,900. Got it. All right. I'm going to roll my stops down there to 69.01 half. Next time it gets down there, if it gets down there, I've got the market in a bit of a squeeze. Oh, man. Come on. There we go. So now that we're through there, you can see the follow through we had, which is what I was hoping for as we took out some of those exit orders from the buyers. Oh, no. Now they're going to bounce a little early here. You stinkers. After all that. Oh, well. No, I had the right idea, just didn't stay with it long enough, and maybe it'll turn out I was a little bit too aggressive with my stop yet again. Big surprise there. Yes, of course. Here they go. They come back down there, and now they hit my profit target. Scoundrels. All right, it's okay. Okay, so we've just hit our kind of our little profit zone down here, just past 6,900, and now it looks as though the market trying to bounce back up again. All right, so I'm just looking here at this cloud crossover signal, and again, the lack of follow through is quite impressive. This whole support zone is really, really sticky for now. All right, are they going to try to head lower? I suppose this is a saleable signal. Oops. Oh, yeah, sure. Wait a little longer, why don't you, Eric? I could have had my just-in-case order in play down there. It looks like they're going to try to slip a little bit lower. I almost thought, after watching it sit here for a few minutes, I thought, oh, well, we're going to come back with a number 2 signal, and it may actually try to resume this earlier uptrend that we saw shortly after the open, but now I'm not so sure. Now I'm not so sure that, oh, see, coming back now with a number 2 signal. It should try to head a little bit lower, I would think. Just the momentum currently seems to be down. We're coming back here with a hard edge bounce. See, there's your number 3 signal, your hard edge bounce. A hard edge bounce actually after a number 2 tends to be a fairly reliable signal, just as a number 2 signal after a number 3 tends to be a pretty reliable signal. I'm not in this one, but we'll just kind of watch it play out. Oh, look at that. Here now comes the number 2 signal. So it's just really confirming what we've been seeing, that the market a little indecisive. All right, let's put that on the shelf. Oh, look at this. We're just keep bouncing back and forth. Wow, things getting very, very quiet here at the moment. Ooh, all right. Well, there we go. So it's looking like the sellers may be setting the tone after all. Okay, well, we've drifted down here now to the median line. Slow, semi-painful grind. Yeah, it's too bad I hesitated on that number 3 signal. Oh well. Like I said before, it's not the first signal I've missed, and it certainly won't be the last. Back now to the lows of the morning. And are they going to break the lows? This, by the way, is again a doable type trade because we had all that buying take off from the lows of the morning. So to short the lows of the morning is very doable. The problem I'm having with it, and you can see we're getting follow-up signals, we're getting these discretionary signals. Problem I'm having is covering the position. You know, covering it up there, not really feasible for me. So trying to cover the trade somewhere midstream is doable. However, I can't help but think that maybe I might be inside that range, although so far it looks like that trade working out pretty well. And there you go. All right, well, I'm going to call it. We're officially in a downtrend. Okay, well, not as much follow through below that low as I thought. In fact, the buyer's pushing back. Normally, you take out the low of the day, and if there's some bearishness involved, you're going to get some follow through, but not right now. In fact, we may come back with a counter trend signal. You can see the Falcon already, the trend line changing over, the Hawk getting a little bit more bullish. We're coming back into the hard edge. All right, look at that. Nice little move back to the hard edge. All right. We got a little bit of a bullish follow through off of the lows. We've blown through the hard edge, but we haven't seen a decent test of the extreme. So I would like to see a little bit of a move lower. And if this test of the extreme sticks, well, then we can actually look to buy again. I know I just said the market's probably in a downtrend, but it does seem to be flip-flopping a little bit. I wouldn't call that a test of the extreme just yet. now we're getting a little bit of a test to the extreme to the short side. All right, well, we'll throw that back on the shelf. I expect a deeper test of the extreme here. I'm thinking the market's going to challenge certainly the median line, 68.87 3/4, essentially 68.88. Well, I would hope so. If it makes a decent test of the extreme, would that be the 50%? Let me see here. Yes, so 68, 86, 87, 88, that's all around the 50% level. All right, there we go. So let's see now if the bands untwist and come up and give a buy signal. That could make for a reasonable buy. That would be our #1 cloud crossover signal. And let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, the Hawk's a little bit congested. The Falcon also trend line changing there a little bit. I think the Raptor is going to be one of the first to give us a buy signal. You could take an early buy here on the Eagle as well. I'll just stay with the Raptor for now. All right, this, I don't know if I want to get quite this aggressive on a buy. Give me a better second push. See, I could just park a buy order above there. Or even above this little swing high here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to park a buy order above there for now. Risk the trade right there. And if we've got an early buy signal right here, if you want to be really aggressive on the trade, by all means, you could certainly look to buy this early cloud crossover signal. I call it an early cloud crossover because the cloud's almost fully crossed, not completely crossed, but we've had the pullback. We've had the clouds crossing or attempting to cross. So we have the elements of a cloud crossover there. All right, here come the buyers. Let's see if we get some follow through on that. Got the break even. Oh, don't you dare flinch now. There we go. Get up there. A couple more ticks. There we go. This also a doable trade to run out a little bit because, as I mentioned before, it does seem as though, well, the buyers have dug in after I said it was going to be a bear market. Actually, you know what? The way the market is just bouncing back and forth, I'm just as happy I got my profit where I did. Oh, it looks like I got a little positive slippage on that trade. A win-win all the way around. So I got left out of a couple of trades here, but for the most part, did okay. Wow. Okay. I should have should have left a runner in that one. Look at that go. Wowie. Okay, wow. Well, took my little share out of that move, but it looks like I ditched a little bit early. I took my profit right around here. Could have snuck a little bit more out of it. But there's nothing wrong with taking the profit when you have it. Okay, getting a little bit of a hesitation now. That might offer an opportunity to get back in. Could be getting a 4-arrow consolidation here in the hawk. Even though I've only taken a handful of trades this morning, I'm having a pretty good morning, and I'm probably not going to rush in. To a trade just to do one. Well, a little bit of a deeper pullback. Not a big surprise, I suppose. We're back near the highs of the morning, as you can see. So it looks like the market fairly content to move sideways. Back into the hard edge now. Let's see if we get a hard edge bounce. Oops. Well, are we going to get something tradable here again? Or are they just going to head back toward the lows? Not much to do with it right now. You can see the hawk already a little bit more bearish. Okay, here come the buyers. And we're going to get a hard edge bounce from here. That's the number 3 signal. There it is right there. Now, the way the market has been so sideways, I want to see a good second push on this one. Once again, you could just put your just in case order up above the highs, just in case the market really runs out. It's a really, really delayed entry, of course. My concern is this little swing that we're seeing right here. That because we're near the top end of the trading range, and this is where selling tends to develop, that we get brought in on a false signal. So I would like to see a really good second push here, and then I could consider bringing in my entry a little bit. Okay, so things tightening up a little bit. Maybe I can enter, right around there, cover kind of mid-range. We're getting a couple of bearish looking bars here. It's a little bit of a balancing act at this point. Okay, so now I have a pretty solid second push entry, and I can look to enter perhaps a little bit closer. And again, we're definitely in a sideways market, so don't feel like you have to try to take a trade like this. This is not one of those higher, what I would consider a higher probability trade. In fact, if anything, it's a little bit of a crapshoot trade. Okay, so we've got the bullish warning dot, things trying to get a little bit bullish again. The best entry still above the high here, I would say. Well, let's just see how this one plays out. If the buyers can muster yet another rally, or not. Okay, now we've got a number 2 signal. This definitely opening up the possibility of a short. We've got a pretty nice looking test of the extreme. And what time is it? Oh, we're 1:45. The market might be getting a little bit tired. All right, let's see. Did they slip me? No, positive slippage. Gotta like that. Okay, get down there. Come on. Got the break even. Yeah. Got the break even, and then they flinch. Oh, you scoundrels. So this is just the reaction of breaking the low right here. You could try to pull this one out a little bit further, you know, if looks like the rally began down here. You could try to stretch it a little. 94 might be a little bit aggressive. Maybe, well, it doesn't matter. They won't let me ride out the swing. Darn it. Had the right idea. They're going to head a little bit lower now, get back down close to 94, 95. Shoot. So you can see the number 3 signal and you can see how slowly the market was moving, that why I was a little bit hesitant to take the entry right on the hash mark. Rather, I let the market give me a very solid second push entry opportunity. You know, it was very plain where the market was finding resistance. So I looked to buy above there. But then a few bars later, we come back with a number 2 signal. So that tells me that This rally is probably short-lived, and I should look for a chance to get short. Now, unfortunately for me, it unfolded rather quickly, so I was stuck shorting below the low here, which normally would work, and I just came up a tick short of my profit objective stickers before they came up and tagged me at break even. But we're working on an early cloud crossover now, and we probably, yes, we have the makings of a macro pullback and a trend change signal here in the Falcon. So we've got a few things going on. We are back into the hard edge. So that's probably, we're going to see a little bit of a reaction from here. But let's get ready for that cloud crossover, or you can do it here on the Falcon as well. We're going to get a sell signal here on the Falcon. I'm anticipating the sell signal. I only have the warning dots at the moment, and it is possible for the Falcon to give you more than one warning dot before actually producing the signal. So, okay, signal's now there. Wow, okay. They're not quite ready, so we'll close that up. May develop into a late filter entry signal. The trend line's still red, but the filter already out of sync. So there may be a shorting opportunity there yet. Or not. Okay, the Hawk working on a 4-arrow consolidation. We're into yellow bars, but if it continues lower from here, you'll get an opportunity to sell. So we just have 1, 2, 3 signals right now. I would probably hold out for that 4th signal. That should bring us back here near the lows. That would be a saleable short. An early cloud crossover now in the Raptor. We don't have the completed signal just yet. The market's getting a little excited here. Okay, there's the signal on the Raptor, and we'll set it up like so. Oh, that's terrible slippage. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, I got slipped like 5 ticks. All right, that means it's time to go. There is very little market participation here at the moment. And that is going to make for some difficult trading. Well, there was no way to really see that one coming. That's the biggest slip I've had in the NASDAQ in a very, very long time. I'm just gonna hang with it now for a little bit, and hopefully the sellers will show up again after that dismal fill that they gave us. Okay, here comes attempted by the bears. Nuts. They're pushing back here to 69.06. I did not want to see that. I need to mute my microphone here for a minute as I express my displeasure with the marketplace. Doggone it, they're going to run my stops. They're not going to give me a decent chance to get out. That was it right there, that little hesitation. Wow, what a monster pushback from the buyers. Well, my only consolation is that my stop is limited by my risk. And you can see we're working a cloud crossover now to the long side. Scott says I use those words all the time. The lamp on my desk has had occasion to get airborne from time to time. Okay, the last, there is a chance the sellers will show up here again. It's slim, but I may as well, I'm in this trade as it is. I may as well give it every chance I can to at least get it back to a break even situation, which I would probably be okay with right now. Mark says, as long as it's not a lava lamp and made of plastic. Yeah, it's not a lava lamp, and it is fairly sturdy. No, I don't lose my temper with the markets anymore. I do remember early on in my trading career, not that I have a temper, I'm fortunate that way. I'm fairly even tempered, but I do remember taking a relatively large loss on a single session. I think it was like $800 or $900, and I was really upset. I was the whole week I was bent out of shape, and that made me realize that there's no benefit in becoming emotional about your trading. You have to set your risk. It's like a poker game. You know, you pays your nickels, you just takes your chances. And if you're not prepared to assume the risk, don't take the trade. It's really as simple as that. If you're going to take the trade, be prepared to walk away from whatever your risk amount happens to be. And it was a hard lesson to learn, but it's one that all traders have to learn. And the sooner you learn it, the better off you'll be. You know, even the best businesses in the world are not right all the time. You look at, well, say a company like Walmart. Huge company, right? Does everything they stock fly off the shelves? No, not at all. It's probably their inventory is probably very close to the Pareto principle, you know, where 20% of their inventory generates 80% of their income, and the other 80% only generates 20% of their income. Yeah, and like Steve says, look at GE, General Electric. All right, here they go again. They're going to try to press through the highs and tag me out. And that will be unfortunate, but after getting slipped 5 ticks on my entry, I can't say that I'm going to be surprised. Pardon me. And it may even be worth a reversal attempt, as it looks like the buyers may be going to try to press the market after all. Well, oh well, it happens. That's trading. I'm going to try to get some of that back. We'll see which way the market is leaning from here, but right now it's really sideways. And you can see probably here on the Eagle just how sideways it is. So the market really not going anywhere today. just happy retracing its previous prices. So I would be inclined to, try to sell near the top end, try to buy near the bottom end. That's probably the way that it's going to go. I got a little bit of work cut out for me right now, but hopefully I can get myself back into the black before the end of the session. All right, gang, I will talk to you tomorrow. We will see you then. Bye for now.